Hello everyone and welcome to Friday's Talking Reds. My name is Mo Stewart. This boy over here with the fantastic hair is Fuad Hasan. Oh come on, you know,
Throwing it in early.
I'm seriously jealous of your hair, mate. Like,
well, you've got the little, little goatee going.
We can mix and match.
There we go.
Now, obviously, today is the press conference for Liverpool-Burnley match, which is happening on Sunday. Jurgen Klopp was in another quite bullish mood, wanting to put across the fact that we're still fighting for this title. We're still a fantastic team, and he was really sure to make sure he wanted to get all of our support, even though it is going to be early on the Sunday. So I'm going to ask you, because you're a veteran of these kind of nights. What's your game? Are you early to bed Saturday night, or are you staying and powering through?
I've taken a week's kind of sabbatical ahead of Munich, so I'm very much early to bed on Saturday. But I would say if anyone is going out, maybe it might be best just to plough through to Sunday morning and do what I did for United away, which left me kind of wounded afterwards. But I think it's all worth it for Jurgen's sake.
I mean, none of you got to see the battle scars afterwards, but it was pretty amazing. But no, I think you're right. I mean, I'm going to be DJing in motel until at least 3 in the morning on a Saturday, so going to bed at 10 isn't really an option for me. But I'm hoping, I have good memories of the times of being still drunk from the night before in the stand, because I think any kind of nerves that you might feel, if it's like 0-0 at half-time, for example, you don't really feel that. You're just kind of still going on that weird energy.
Exactly. I think we've got to kind of live in our own football world with this and take away the normal kind of realities of 12 p.m. kickoffs and having a pint at 10 a.m. I think we should normalise that for, for football's sake.
And I mean, the same as what happens on the other side of the world, all of you watching in Australia or America who are having to like get up at 6 o'clock and have that decision, is it too early to have a drink? For everybody in the world, it's not too early, trust me. Okay, I want to talk to you a little bit more about the team, because obviously a team like Burnley, they've got a reputation of being very hard to break down. They sit back, give us the low block, as they call it, even if they haven't been in great form. Who do you want to see, particular team? Do you want to see a full-on, gung-ho attacking team, or are you thinking more we can just play our normal game and it'll work?
Well, I think if you look at the last 2 games against Everton and United, I think the manager was very much kind of content with the draw. I think if before those games and even after those games, fine, we had chances to win and there's that disappointment. But I think there was very much that kind of thing of there's still 9 games to go. This is the sort of period where we can kind of go for it. The fixtures are in our favour. The tough away games are out the way. I think, he doesn't really have a choice but to go with a midfield at least. That's going to really kind of take the game to Burnley. They're not going to be out there to kind of play open, expansive football. We know what they're like, especially coming to Anfield. So I would definitely be looking at getting Cater in there. A couple of weeks ago, the manager says he's one of the first names on the team sheet to get him into that rhythm, and then we kind of suddenly see him kind of drop off the manager's kind of book. So I'd really like to see him in there. Maybe a Wijnaldum and a Fabinho as well, and really take the game to them, because the onus is going to be on us.
Now, we're hoping that Bobby Firmino is going to be fit to start in this game. But there's been a lot of talk about Salah in the last couple of games. Obviously, this is probably his longest, I think, Premier League goal drought for Liverpool.
Right.
Are you in any way concerned, or do you think that this is the perfect game for him to get his game back together?
I think, it might not be the perfect game, but I think it's very much a good opportunity. I think, to be honest, any game really with him, it's not like the chances haven't been there. He's had the chances. It's not like we haven't been creating or he hasn't been creating. And I think that's the one thing you can never kind of say about him, is that he will always kind of, he won't hide. He will take the game by the scruff of the neck, even if he knows he's not quite with it. And I think, a lot of it is down to kind of personal expectations. You look at it, and I guess if you're on the outside looking in, his numbers are still brilliant. He's still kind of out of this world in a lot of ways, in a lot of senses. But I think for his own personal kind of expectations, that's probably the biggest disappointment.
Yeah, I mean, he always seems to me when he's having those kind of games like he's trying too hard.
Yeah.
Like, it was almost like between the 2 chances that he had at Everton, he overcompensated. For the first one, his touch took him too far away, and then the second time, he was so keen to bring the touch in, it ended up being too heavy. And you're right, he does seem to put a lot of pressure on himself.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the other lads on the team can kind of help him out in this one, provide a few more attacking options throughout the rest of the team, specifically in midfield. It'd be great to see Naby get his first goal as well. I'm really fingers crossed for that one. So we're really looking forward to the Burnley game. I think it's safe to say we both think that it's going to be a Liverpool victory. We need your help to go out there and cheer the boys on and make them happen, though. But there's plenty else that's been happening in the world of Anfield Rap and in the world of Liverpool. You know that we also care about music a bit of culture and the city in general.
Our music representative right here.
Well, I'm one of the music
yes,
representatives. Another one, the guy who actually plays on records is John Gibbons, and he's been out to Liverpool Lighthouse to speak to them about their brand new exciting project they're running with Levi's.
It's John Gibbons here for the Anfield Wrap, and I am at Liverpool Lighthouse, which is in Anfield. In fact, it's a stone's throw away from the Cop, and I'm here at the Liverpool Lighthouse to talk about the Levi's music project. And I'm joined by Becky Ayres from Sound City, who you're involved in this music project, Becky, because the accumulation of it, if you like, is going to be at Sound City. So the young people are here, they're learning about music production, about working with each other, they're developing their musical skills, and it's going to be finalised, if you like. Finalised sounds terrible, but it's going to accumulate, if you like, the project with the performance at Sound City. So, I mean, first of all, how pleased are you to be involved in this project?
We're really, really excited, and we're absolutely made up. It's such a fantastic project to be involved in. To work with a brand like Levi's, who absolutely share our brand values in terms of working with communities and bringing people together and helping young talent to emerge is fantastic for us. And also we've got Loyal Kana, who is a massive Liverpool fan, and he's playing at Sound City this year as our headliner, but he's also working on the project to mentor and work with young people, so it's a perfect storm, really.
Yeah, I mean, you're not just obviously CEO of Sound City, but you're an advocate of music in the city and developing musicians. And we know that there's a lot of talent in the city, but there's not always access to studio space, to people you can learn from, to mentors, really. So for these young people who are involved, this is going to be fantastic. This is kind of nurturing the future generations of who, you know, we know when we get it right in Liverpool, we can create world stars.
Absolutely, and it's really interesting to see the young people come through, because they're all from very, very different musical backgrounds and from all different parts of Liverpool. So they're kind of really, really interesting as a group, and their musical ability is absolutely off the scale. I've heard some of them yesterday and they were just brilliant. So it's just really great to be able to work with people of that sort of raw talent and actually help them, not just with the music side, but with the industry side, because that's something we're really passionate about, Sound City, and helping people to develop their skills, you know, to actually go out into the world and be, you know, music entrepreneurs and practitioners, really.
Fantastic. I mean, we're going to be telling the story of the Levi's music project from now right up until the performance at Sound City. So we're going to be looking forward to speaking hopefully to some of the young people, to Loyal himself, and just letting people, all of you guys, know the fantastic work that's being done. But if you want to see the final performance and you want to see the kind of the end product, if you like, of all this fantastic work, it's going to be at Sound City. I believe Levi's are taking over Constellations, and it's going to be there.
Yeah, it's not, Loyal's performance is not going to be in Constellations because he's actually too big for that venue, but Levi's are doing some really exciting stuff there, and so the Anfield Wrap, I believe. So that's going to be it's going to be a whole brilliant weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic weekend. So get your tickets for Sound City. Make sure you go in that weekend, not just for the Levi's stuff, but for the amazing acts that they have across the weekend. And do keep in touch with us as well at the Anfield Wrap, across obviously our YouTube channel, but also we're going to be telling the stories on the weekend of our free audio show as well, as this fantastic project kind of runs and runs. So yeah, thanks to Levi's for inviting us down, and thanks to Becky for joining me this morning.
Thanks to John there. Really excited about that Levi music project, and we'll see the fruits of the labour come May in the Sound City. Now, something else that's going to be coming to fruition in May is this title race. See what I did there? It's nice.
Brilliant.
And Robbo from our parish had the really, really great privilege of being able to speak to the other Robbo, the bigger, better Robbo, Andy Robertson himself, who, along with Tony Barrett and Sam Evans from Spy and Cop, had a really good sit-down interview in which they were discussing the power and the positive power of Anfield and the crowd in particular. It's a really good, wide-ranging interview. You watched it as well.
Yeah, brilliant. I completely recommend. I think it's something that we all kind of need. There's 4 home games left this season, and I think, you know, we don't want to be at a stage where we look back at the end of the season and we think, did we do our bit? Did we do enough? And I think this interview kind of is full of honesty, and Andy Robertson really kind of lets out what the players, I mean, it doesn't give everything away, obviously, but he does give a good insight into what they think and how it affects them.
No, he does, and I think that's one of the reasons why he was the perfect person to do it.
Yeah.
Because you're always going to get that honesty from him. But also, he can give his experiences as what it was like when he was a fan of Celtic, from when he was a player at a smaller team, and the benefits of the bigger crowd, and then again when he's now at a bigger team, and the benefits, and how in all of those situations you can see that we as fans, particularly in the ground, really do have an impact. There was something else in there that really caught my eye, caught my attention. Tony Barrett was talking a lot about the potential for media narratives from outside sources and how they can sometimes influence us as Liverpool fans. And it's quite ironic that he was talking about it in that video, because this has already happened since off the back of that video. So, you know, it's one of those situations where, as the season continues, we're going to be seeing this more and more. We're going to be hearing other people trying to say, Liverpool are this, Liverpool fans are that. I mean, it's not easy, but how important is it for us to just forget about all those noises?
I think it's really important, and I think that within the club itself, within the team, the atmosphere Jurgen's created, I think that they are good at shutting out the outside world. I think Robertson, you know, not to give too much away, but he does hint at the fact that the players are aware of what's being said, and obviously the mainstream media and a lot of media are going to try and hype up the title race, create the whole thing of bottling it, which to me is the most ridiculous thing when you look at the two teams that are competing with each other. And you know, you look at the players as well. I think Robertson mentioned something really kind of, I think, quite interesting with Hull, and how, you know, a relegation battle is what's really tense and what's nervy. You know, people's jobs are at stake. That's where the real kind of nerves and tension is. Title races are for enjoyment, and these players, you know, if anyone's questioning these players' character and nerve, I mean, they just got to take a look at their individual stories to see, you know, how they've risen, how they've got to where they are.
Well, exactly. You don't get to be an elite with at anything without a little bit of hardship. So they know exactly what they're talking about. You talked about you not wanting to give too much away. Well, we can give a little bit away. I think we've got a little clip of it just to give you a bit of a whet your appetite.
And Andy, you know, you've come from, everyone knows what your background is, everyone knows where you've come from, and, you know, your story's been told over and over again about sort of where you were and where you are now. But you always seem, to me and to a lot of Liverpool fans that I talk to be someone who gets it, who understands the culture, who is enjoying themselves in Liverpool as well. I mean, what do you make of it? I mean, you know, Tony said that we're obviously biased. You've come in as an outsider, at least initially, but you know, you've been taken under the Scouse wing, if you like. But what do you make of the culture, the fan culture at Liverpool in comparison to maybe elsewhere?
Yeah, the thing is, it's, you know, it's first class, and I think what Tony's saying is, you know, in the top six, I don't think there's, you know, any, you know, team, I think, you know, probably won't like hearing this, but, you know, credit to the United fans last week. Obviously everything's going good at their club just now, and they created a good atmosphere. That's what happens when, you know, fans get behind their manager and a team, but we have that, you know, more regular. There's against, you know, Liverpool, which is a big game and all that, but, you know, we can create it against, you know, games like Bournemouth, and, you know, no disrespect to Bournemouth, but like you said, you know, they're a, you know, a middle of the table team, and, you know, we probably expected to win the game. And, you know, like you said, with my past, I've played with Hull. You know, I've came to these grounds where it's been flat. I've been to Old Trafford and held them to a draw where it's been flat. We've gave Liverpool a game and things like that, and it's, you know, maybe people show up and think, you know, that's it, we're winning. And like Tony said about the Leicester game, you know, obviously, look, the players didn't perform to what we could have done, but, you know, from the very start, I felt it was very, you know, tense. And if you look at Leicester's previous results, they'd beat Man City, they'd beat Chelsea. You know, they're no mugs. They're a fantastic team, and they caused us problems. And yeah, we drew, which was, it's not the end of the world. But like Tony said, I think if, you know, if Man City hadn't get beaten the game, you know, the night before, it might have been a different story. But look, that's ifs, buts, and maybes. But we should have performed better to start. But, you know, from Leicester to then the Watford to the Bournemouth game, sorry, it was night and day in my opinion.
Now, you see what I said? It's fantastic. It's a fantastic interview. You can see the full version up on YouTube as we speak. It's going to make you want to run through brick walls, but it's also going to make you want to wind the clock to Burnley faster and faster and faster. So get out there and watch that. But we're the Anfield Wrap. We've got lots of things going on. As I told you at the top of the show, we've got some more shows coming out. As I say, you can listen to that one. We've got so many. I've got a list. We've got the team talk. I should have known that one because I literally just finished recording it. That's coming out, as I say, off the back of Jurgen Klopp's press conference, as it always is. The Weekender, which I believe is already out now, which has just come out, which I know that you will all enjoy. And of course, there's AFQ, which, I mean, I want to mention one thing about AFQ. I have been trying to put a question in.
Really?
Yeah, and they keep ignoring it.
Oh, that's
like,
I need to have a word.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, I thought maybe they just didn't see it in time. Maybe I didn't get there in time because when Neil puts out his tweet, there's normally loads and loads of people. But last week I basically put it out 2 minutes after he put the tweet out.
I think you need to have a word upstairs in the office.
So anyway, listen to AFQ. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. Anyway. So we've got those shows coming out, and also we're doing lots of live shows, as I'm sure that you're aware now if you've been watching these Talking Reds regularly. We've got 3 shows coming up in Ireland. There aren't very many tickets left, but there are some. 22nd of March in Galway, 23rd of March in Dublin, 24th of March in Laois. Go to the event venues websites to find out if there's any tickets left. We also have information about it on Twitter. We're doing another event at the end of March ahead of the Spurs game down at On Air on the 31st of March. Come to our website, particularly for tickets for that.
Perfect way to warm up for potentially what could be it's going to be a huge game no matter what.
It's going to be a massive game.
It's going to be, yeah.
And hopefully by then we'll have come back from our glorious journey into Germany, and we'll know who our next Champions League opponents
hopefully
are.
Ajax, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I really hope for Ajax. But any of you who follow me on Twitter will know that, we are both going to Munich. We are going slightly different ways, though. Fuad, you're going on Monday?
Yes, we're off on Monday, the big kind of Anfield wrap trip. But then you've got your nice little adventurous European tour.
Yeah, I'm doing a bit of a planes, trains and automobiles type deal because that's just the way I roll. So yeah, I'm going to be going via Manchester, Paris, Nuremberg. So any of you following Reds who are also travelling to the game, who may also be going an unconventional version, if you see me in the corner of a Paris airport, come and say hello, definitely. And when we get to Munich, something else that's happening, aside from the fact that we're going to be scrabbling around for tickets. Boss Night are doing a fantastic special out there in Munich. It's going to be running from 1 till 6 with pre-match entertainment coming from Jamie Webster, Kieran Monu, and our own Tim O'Tierney is going to be out there as well. And then they're going to be showing the game in the square for those of you who haven't got those of us who haven't been able to get a ticket. So it's almost going to be the second best place in the world to watch the game if you can't get into the Allianz Arena. So any of you who are travelling to Munich and you are worried about getting a ticket, don't worry, lads. There's a perfectly great second option, and you may well see me and Fuad there.
What's not to like about that?
Exactly. So yeah, we're all in a really good mood. We're hopefully going to have another good win on Sunday up the Reds.